Coming up on News 12 at 9, a Marshall County man found dead after he went missing last weekend. Plus, a two-vehicle collision in Atoka County kills one man. And a new tap service that will help hundreds of disabled seniors get to and from their doctor's appointments. News 12 at 9 starts now.
The only newscast in true high definition, broadcasting live from 12 studios. This is News 12 at 9 p.m.
Good evening and welcome to News 12 at 9. I'm Ashley Park. Scott is off tonight. A Marshall County man who went missing last weekend was found dead early this morning by his own family members. Marshall County investigator David Barnes says Lyndon Nesbitt's body was discovered around 11:30 Friday morning in a pasture near the intersection of Highway 70 and 70F, just south of Medill. Barnes says Nesbitt was last heard from early last Saturday nearby in the Carlton Road area. He says they had been searching for him by tracking data from his cell phone.
His cell phone pinged right across Highway 70F. In a straight line from where we thought he was to where he ended up.
Barnes says foul play is not believed to be involved, and they are waiting on the medical examiner's office to determine Nesbitt's cause of death. A semi and pickup crashed on the Atoka-Pittsburgh County line early this morning, killing one man. Troopers say around 3:15, a pickup was traveling north in the southbound lanes of Highway 69 when it collided head-on with a semi. The pickup rolled and caught fire, killing the driver. The two brothers in the semi were taken to a McAllister hospital and treated for minor injuries. The pickup driver's name is not being released.
The Highway Patrol and medical examiners are working hard to make identification of the body, and hopefully we'll get that as quick as we can, and we'll be able to make notification to the family.
The accident shut down one lane of the highway for about 3 hours, and hazmat crews responded to the scene to clean up a small diesel spill. The road has since reopened. Private investigators looking into the disappearance of Molly Miller and Colt Haynes say they need the public's help to find a possible witness in the case. Lead investigator Philip Klein says they are concerned for the health and safety of Barry Bogan, who has not been seen or heard from in 4 months. Klein says Bogan is a material witness in the missing persons case and may have information about some of the persons of interest in Miller and Haynes' disappearance. He says Bogan's family believes he is in danger. If you have any information regarding Bogan's whereabouts, they ask you to contact the Molly Miller hotline. A man has been arrested accused of stealing several motorcycles in the Sherman area. Police say 27-year-old Yadvinder Singh is in custody after officers seized 4 motorcycles, various motorcycle parts, and a stolen shotgun from his home in the 600 block of South Ricketts. The motorcycle had been reported stolen on July 30th from the 3600 block of Steeple Chase in Sherman. Singh faces felony theft charges. After 25 days of nonstop fighting, today's 72-hour humanitarian ceasefire was supposed to lay the groundwork for a long-term truce. As the ceasefire was supposed to start, Hamas gunmen came out of a tunnel and launched an attack on Israeli troops in the southern Gaza town of Rafah. The soldiers were in the process of destroying one of Hamas' many underground cross-border tunnels. 2 soldiers were killed and another captured. Israel quickly announced the ceasefire over and began searching the area they believe the abducted soldier was taken to.
We are determined to bring back our boy. We are determined to sever those tunnels, and we are determined to strike this terrorist organization. We will not be held hostage.
A Hamas spokesman says its tunnel attack happened an hour before the ceasefire started, and that Israel is using the alleged abduction of the officer as an excuse to massacre Palestinians. 25 days of fighting have left at least 1,500 Palestinians and 65 Israelis dead. 2 American aid workers in Africa who are sick with Ebola are coming back to the United States. A missionary group says a private plane is headed to Liberia to pick up one of them. The jet carries only 1 passenger at a time and has a portable tent for patients with infectious diseases. The CDC has advised Americans not to travel to Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Liberia, where more than 700 people have died from Ebola. There is no vaccine or effective treatment. The current Ebola outbreak has a death rate of 60%. An inability to compromise on immigration led members of the House of Representatives in Washington today delaying the usual August recess. Fox News Chief Congressional Correspondent Mike Emanuel has more from Washington.
I'm going to have to act alone.
President Obama slams Congress for failing to act on his $3.7 billion emergency funding request to address the crisis at the southwest border.
This is a message bill that they couldn't quite pull off yesterday, so they made it a little more extreme, so maybe they can pass it today. Just so they can check a box before they're leaving town for a month.
House Republicans delayed a 5-week summer recess and met behind closed doors today to try and path a way forward on the immigration crisis. House Speaker John Boehner told Republicans they were to stay in Washington as long as it takes until they get a border deal done.
That was part of a very painstaking process that actually changed that language. I believe it tightened it up.
The original emergency spending bill was pulled from the floor Thursday when majority Republicans could not lock in the needed votes to secure its passage. Some Republicans pushed for the bill to include tougher language on illegal immigration and were not satisfied with the initial version. Democrats welcomed the Republican divide on the bill and pointed out that the GOP failed to deal with the unaccompanied migrant minors crossing the border.
It is simply a message they want to send, not a solution they want to affect.
The democratically controlled Senate is not expected to consider the House GOP bill even if it passes, and the White House has already slapped a veto threat on it. Many of the changes of the GOP bill are designed to stop the president from holding up deportations as the White House looks for ways to deal with the crisis without the help of Congress. On Capitol Hill, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Now turning to weather, cool temps on tap for August. Chief Meteorologist Steve Naylor joins us in the Weather Center with the latest. Steve?
Thanks a lot, Ashley. It definitely is a cool night. We're already seeing spots sinking into the 60s here at only 9 o'clock. You can see 69 now at Atoka, also at Clayton and Antlers, and Ada at 69 degrees. Elsewhere, we're just into the low 70s, a light easterly wind, a really pretty evening out there as the sun did come out late this afternoon. Got a great sunset. We'll show you that a bit later in the show. So tonight, skies are partly cloudy. Looking at temperatures to scooge along down to the mid-60s. There could be some patchy fog in the morning, but we're going to bounce out of that and get some sun tomorrow and start to boost the temps too. So I'll have that great time lapse for you and weekend numbers when I come back.
TAPS Transit is offering a new program to help hundreds of the elderly in Texoma commute more easily. News 12's Ethan Hutchins shows us how.
This is the current TAPS call center.
Friday? What time are you going to work?
But in a month, these dispatchers will be able to help thousands more riders. TAPS CEO and Executive Director Brad Underwood says the new Medicaid operating unit will be able to help more than 1 million disabled seniors in North Texas and Southern Oklahoma get to important health care appointments.
TAPS is a transportation company. You know, whether it be if someone's riding our fixed route, one of our employment shuttles, or going to the grocery store through our demand response system.
Underwood says the new program will create more than 100 new jobs, including new drivers, call center agents, and supervisors. The new hires are being trained right now in the newly constructed call center in the TAPS building on Texoma Parkway. Underwood says they are excited about what the new center can mean for customers.
This is just opening up a different clientele base for us, a different rider base that we've probably already been servicing anyway.
It's just a win-win for everyone.
Matt Hunt is in charge of the transit operations. He says in the past, if a customer needed to schedule a Medicaid appointment, they would have to call Health and Human Services. Now every call can be taken locally.
Every customer that calls in will go through the call center. They'll schedule the ride through the call center.
The company received federal money to expand the call center, and Underwood says the new center has big potential.
It really is a big investment in our local region, and we're happy to be a part of it.
In Sherman, Ethan Hutchins, News 12.
Coming up on News 12 at 9, Oklahoma shoppers save big bucks as tax-free weekend begins. And how one local police department is connecting with fellow officers from overseas. News 12 at 9 will be right back.